Accent Wisdom lesson warmly greets you. Have you ever encountered someone like this? They behave strangely, possess extraordinary wisdom, have a heart as pure as gold, live independently and differently, and rarely rely on others throughout their lives. Their family cannot help them. They make all decisions and bear all consequences themselves. If you meet such a person, please treat them sincerely, for they are someone with the flower canopy destiny. People with the flower canopy destiny are usually exceptionally talented, intelligent, and able to endure profound loneliness. The world often says that those with the flower canopy destiny are suited for spiritual cultivation in Buddhism or Taoism or for pursuing metaphysics. But in truth, anyone who is both intelligent and calm enough to study deeply will excel far beyond ordinary people, no matter what field they pursue. Besides esoteric subjects, they particularly shine in difficult disciplines like mathematics, philosophy, medicine, or architecture. They also possess an extraordinary ability to perceive the people around them. With just a glance, they can understand the essence of a situation. With just a brief interaction, they can discern the character of the other person. Precisely because they see things so clearly, their perception of the world often diverges significantly from reality. If they can control themselves, they become noble sages. But if they cannot, they may fall into depression at best or descend into madness at worst. Half saint, half demon, the boundary between genius and madness is separated by only a hair's breadth. For those with a strong flower canopy destiny, we should treat them with an open heart and reduce our judgment. What is wrong with having a few more geniuses in this world? People often say, wolves walk alone, cattle gather in herds. The strong often live in solitude. They prefer to be by themselves. When alone, it is a time to converse with the divine. When with one other person, they speak the truth. With 3 people, they speak polite words. With 4 or more, they speak only lies. True geniuses are always solitary. Truly awakened people are the same. In fact, many people treat others very well, but always prefer to act alone. Even with family, they may not have deep bonds. Yet such people often possess great blessings. Because life is a journey of cultivation, the higher the level, the less debt one owes to the mundane world. If you had no debts in a past life, why would you encounter them in this one? The more complex your relationships, the heavier your karmic burden. People with the flower canopy destiny are often those who nearly completed their spiritual cultivation in a past life and no longer need to reincarnate into the mortal world. From now on, do not hastily judge someone as unsociable or eccentric. The so-called flower canopy was originally the ceremonial canopy carried above the emperor's carriage in ancient times, a symbol of nobility and high status. The flower canopy is the spiritual aura radiating from the crown of a person's head, mysterious and brilliant, with protective and enlightening power. People with the flower canopy destiny are usually different, aloof, and proud. If they can control themselves, they become noble sages. If not, they become arrogant and irritable, potentially falling into depression or even spiritual derangement. Therefore, the flower canopy destiny often leads to 2 extreme outcomes, either profound solitude until the end of life or great worldly achievement. So, how can one avoid solitude while still achieving greatness? Just remember one final warning from this lesson. A human life can absolutely be brilliantly radiant, even remembered by history. First, check if you have the flower canopy destiny. Below are 10 characteristics of someone with the flower canopy destiny, especially characteristic number 8, which is very typical. Carefully compare to see if you fit. 1. They are often very talented, therefore somewhat arrogant, not easily mingling with ordinary people, with a solitary and refined character. 2. They have a rather distinctive appearance, with delicate features and looking younger than their actual age. 3. They are simple, kind, and righteous, with a strong sense of compassion and empathy, easily moved by the suffering of others. 4. They yearn for a pastoral life, easily transcending worldly concerns, even frequently contemplating leaving society behind. 5. Their father often has outstanding talent in a certain field, but also has obvious weaknesses. 6. Despite excellent personal conditions, their romantic relationships are often fraught with difficulties, making it hard to find true love. 7. They have a very strong sense of mission with clear goals and long-term ideals. Even if misunderstood, they persist to the end. 8. They often suffer many hardships and trials. It is as if heaven is deliberately testing them to temper their will. 9. Their fate is often unpredictable because those with the flower canopy destiny have the ability to change their fate. 10. They are particularly fascinated by mysterious things, enjoying stargazing, exploring the universe, and unsolved mysteries. Finally, I want to send a message to anyone with the flower canopy destiny. Just remember this one sentence, and you will surely achieve great things. Talent has never caused human suffering. Only believing oneself to be talented causes suffering. A woman with the flower canopy destiny never thinks she is beautiful. That is beauty without self-awareness. The highest realm of beauty, a man with the flower canopy destiny never thinks he is talented. That is talent without self-awareness. The highest realm of the talented. When you can reach this realm, you have transcended the control of talent and beauty, and you will surely achieve great things. Please remember this well. A person with the flower canopy destiny, whenever encountering difficulties, if they believe in Buddhism or Taoism, can basically turn misfortune into fortune, as if silently protected by heaven. Usually, if a woman has the flower canopy destiny, she will be quite proud and hard to move emotionally. Women who are strong and successful in their careers often carry many flower canopy stars, easily resembling a female general. When the flower canopy star influences a woman, she becomes noble, aloof, picky, and may even look down on men. In severe cases, she may even repel romantic relationships with men. If a person enters a period where the flower canopy star combines with the moon star, I dare say that person is extremely persuasive. Their words make anyone who listens believe and admire them. A person with the flower canopy destiny, no matter how much money they earn, always has a reason and foundation. Those with many overlapping flower canopy stars were often spiritual practitioners in a past life, so in this life, the flower canopy is often clearly visible in their birth chart. They also have a very strange characteristic. Not only do they learn classical knowledge very quickly, but whenever they speak, everyone around them immediately falls silent and is ready to listen. This is a very special phenomenon. At the same time, people with many flower canopy stars often have a noble appearance, extraordinary aura, and radiate pure energy. The metal flower canopy star is also a symbol of integrity and discipline. When examining the flower canopy star in a destiny chart, one can predict when the person will hold power, when their voice will be strong, or when they will suddenly retreat into seclusion or retire. In many theories of destiny, the flower canopy star is always associated with solitude and pride, residing high in the heavens. Many destiny masters understand the flower canopy as a symbol of being unbound, transcending the mundane world, and remaining untainted by worldly dust. The flower canopy is a spirit of protection, presiding over nobility and a pure heart. They easily have an affinity for the spiritual path. We often speak of enjoying pure blessings, meaning blessings found in tranquility. If a person can endure tranquility, there is no blessing they cannot enjoy, because the tranquility of body and mind is itself a great blessing. A person with a tranquil body and mind can easily connect their thoughts with the laws of the universe. Many spiritual practitioners spend decades trying to reach this state, the state of pure, tranquil blessing. When this state is achieved, their intentions can mobilize the power of countless divine beings in the universe to solve any problem for them. People with many flower canopy stars are born with this gift. Therefore, I believe that people with the flower canopy destiny are not arrogant loners, but people with immense blessings and an extremely good fate. Far too many people use the phrase, "go with the flow," to excuse their thorns on the path of life. They refuse to admit that going with the flow is truly an attitude of non-attachment only after giving your utmost effort, not giving up or standing still in the face of difficulty. Many also use the excuse, "I believe in fate," to constantly seek out feng shui masters, yet refuse to realize that this is merely the behavior of a coward. They abandon effort in reality, retreat in the face of adversity, unwilling to continue moving forward with their own feet, always hoping to meet a master who will illuminate a path to changing their fate. That is not belief in fate, it is waiting for a ripe persimmon to fall into your lap. True belief in fate is to leave the outcome to heaven only after you have done your utmost. The so-called exhausting human effort means you must fight and strive with all your might, continuously improve your own ability and wisdom, and then go to solve practical difficulties. Only then do you entrust the result to heaven's will. First, you must have courage. Fate is determined by me, not by heaven. Then you must have an open heart. Without understanding fate, one cannot be a noble person. Only then can you truly understand heaven's will. Life is a journey of cultivation. The highest realm is to cultivate the heart of a Buddha and the nature of a wolf, possessing the compassionate heart of a bodhisattva, but acting with the decisiveness of thunder. Truly capable people are soft on the outside, but strong within. Pure on the inside, sharp on the outside. They keep the Buddha in their heart, but hold a knife in their hand. They ride a horse into battle to slay enemies, then dismount to chant sutras and recite the Buddha's name. They treat people with the heart of a bodhisattva, but handle affairs with the methods of steel and iron. When sincere, they give their whole heart. When drawing the sword, they leave no path of retreat. Knowing good and knowing evil is what makes one a truly upright person. But also, do not fear trouble. When you reach this point, nothing in the world can unsettle you. This is the highest and eternal rule of the world. When your inner self is stronger and more resilient than any man, courageous, decisive, and self-disciplined, yet outwardly gentler and more feminine than any woman, bright, soft, observant, and sensitive, using gentleness to overcome, strengthen, no one in the world can be your opponent. The Zen tradition says one must engrave in their bones and heart to illuminate the mind and see one's true nature. So, what is illuminate the mind? It is illuminating the heart of compassion, the heart of the bodhisattva, boundless love, empathy for humanity, and passionate love for the world. This is the kindness and fervor that exists deep within the heart of every person. So, what is see one's true nature? It is seeing the true nature of humanity. Human nature is the deepest thing in the world. It is both subtle and cruel. Only by understanding human nature can one respond flexibly. When you see through human nature, you will develop the nature of a wolf. When it is time to act, you do not hesitate. When it is time to decide, you do not yield, as cold as the autumn wind sweeping fallen leaves. Humans have three natures: beastly nature, human nature, and divine nature. Beastly nature is the inability to think independently. Human nature is having learned to think independently. Divine nature is becoming the observer of one's own thoughts. These correspond to three realms of human life. The first realm, lacking the ability to think, so one sees a mountain as just a mountain. The second realm, beginning to think independently, beginning to doubt and examine, so one sees a mountain is no longer just a mountain, and water is no longer just water. The third realm, separating oneself from the ordinary self, the I that is observing, the I that is thinking. So one again sees the mountain as a mountain and the water as water. People in the first realm live simply, innocently, and trustingly, but are also easily hurt or exploited because they do not see the true nature of things. People in the second realm suffer the most because they think a lot but have not thought deeply enough, often blinded by their own thoughts. People in the third realm are the happiest because they have truly awakened, have no attachments, and live freely and openly. The most difficult thing in life is the transformation from human nature to divine nature, the leap from the second realm to the third. But only when you reach the third realm can you truly escape suffering. Before achieving this upgrade, after achieving it, you become, I am observing myself living. Knowing how to observe every action of yourself and continuously adjust is an extremely powerful ability. It allows you to stand at a higher level, to look back at yourself and see through all sentient beings. Transforming from a person who thinks into a person who observes the thinker is the most valuable upgrade. The so-called 3 feet above your head, the gods are watching, that God is no one else. It is the I at a higher level, always above your head, silently observing you. If you become aware of it, then you are it. It is like playing a game. Previously, you always thought you were the main character in the game, always striving to fight monsters and pass levels. Suddenly, you realize you are no longer the main character in the game, but the player playing the game. In that single moment, you see through all your own problems and thus transcend the 3 realms, no longer bound by the 5 elements. This is the most important ability in life. It is like parting the clouds to see the blue sky, allowing you to instantly perceive the truth of all things and the reality of human life. It is truly mysterious and indescribable. In the Diamond Sutra, there is a classic dialogue between the Buddha and Subhuti. The Buddha asked Subhuti, "Is the sand in the Ganges River abundant?" Of course, it is very abundant. If someone spent wealth equal to the sand in the Ganges River on charity, would that be great merit? Of course, it would be immeasurable merit, the Buddha said. But there is a kind of merit even greater. After a person attains enlightenment, if they can help many others also attain enlightenment and reach the other shore, that is true great merit. If there is such a person, all temples in the world should enshrine them, to attain enlightenment and then help others attain enlightenment. This kind of merit is far greater than giving away material wealth. Remember these 2 sentences. The most important ability in the world is enlightenment. The greatest merit in the world is helping others to become enlightened. The process of making money is itself a journey of cultivation. But money is only a tool. Making money is the process of crossing a bridge. So, after crossing the bridge, where are you going? It is to upgrade your life to a higher level, to reach the other shore of human existence. Life has a total of 3 major upgrades, each a crucial turning point. The first upgrade is breaking free from the constraints of reality. No longer for food and clothing, achieving independence in material, spiritual, and personal character. Becoming a relatively free person and beginning to contemplate spiritual issues. The second transformation is discovering your innate talent, finding the meaning and mission of your life, dedicating yourself wholeheartedly, and ultimately achieving outstanding success. The third transformation is seeing through the essence of the world and life, entering the path of enlightenment. You can look down from a high place at all sentient beings without your heart being disturbed, like flowers blooming and falling in the courtyard, coming or going without concern, like clouds drifting across the sky without catching your eye. Each transformation is an upgrade in the degree of freedom of life. Every life will eventually awaken. It is just that the vast majority of people only see the truth of life at the very last moment, and by then, it is too late. When cultivation reaches a certain level, a person can use invisible energy to control visible matter. The Prajna Sutra teaches that the essence of all matter is energy, and behind energy is information. Both energy and information are invisible. Everything you can see and touch is composed of a series of invisible energy and information. It is the invisible that determines the visible. What cannot be seen is what governs what can be seen. Scientists have discovered that in the real world, only 4% of matter is visible. The remaining 96% is dark matter. It is these invisible things that control the operation of the universe. Psychologists have also found that only 5% of the thoughts in our minds are conscious. The remaining 95% are controlled by the subconscious. It is these subconscious, imperceptible things that control our behavior. This is the iceberg theory. Therefore, when a person cultivates to a certain level, they can use invisible energy to control visible matter. To ordinary people, this sounds like magic, but to practitioners, it is a very normal ability. This is the principle behind many Taoist magical arts. For us, simply beginning to perceive invisible energy around us, such as sensing an energy field, allows us to start grasping these things. Then, with long-term persistent practice, you will gradually gain the ability to control physical reality. You can also gradually try to break free from the limitations of the physical body, for example, by keeping your body in a state of absolute stillness without generating thoughts or emotions. When a person does not generate thoughts or emotions, they usually no longer consume energy. Once you stop consuming energy, you no longer need to replenish it with worldly substances. All the confusion, anxiety, and depression in life arise because we are increasingly drifting away from our true selves. Think about it. Is your life always shrouded by something invisible? As if an invisible force is enveloping you, preventing you from escaping your entire life. We call this fate. It is because you are completely unaware of the existence of your true self that you always feel controlled, yet you do not know who is controlling you. Gao Rong once said the most important sentence: "When the subconscious is brought into the light, fate will be changed." In other words, when you find your true self, learn to dialogue with it and reconcile with it, you will no longer be controlled by it, but can live in harmony with it. The so-called fate will no longer exist. For us, what is harder, awareness or change? In fact, awareness is harder than change. Once you gain awareness, your subconscious will begin to change. The most terrifying thing for a person is a lack of awareness, living in a daze, stubbornly clinging to old, narrow, and extreme ways of thinking. What truly hinders us is not ability, time, or method, but the things deep in our hearts that we dare not face, things like inferiority, prejudice, emotional instability, narrow-mindedness, ignorance, and selfishness. These are the greatest obstacles preventing us from returning to our true selves. Make deep connections with people who do not fit into the crowd, because those who are solitary are either gods or beasts. They are definitely not ordinary people. The richer a person's inner world, the more they love solitude and peaceful beauty. The poorer their inner world, the more they crave noise and commotion. The strong are always independent, because they can fight alone like a tiger, a species that always walks alone. The weak prefer to gather because they need a herd to feel safe, like cattle, sheep, chickens, ducks, and geese. When alone, one can converse with the divine. When with one other person, one can speak of life. With 3 people, one speaks only polite words. With 4 or more, one speaks only lies. When a person lacks common knowledge, they will choose to believe in the strange and miraculous. So-called common knowledge, which seems like something everyone knows, is actually something most ordinary people today lack. This is because they spend their lives pursuing tricks or worshipping the experience of the successful, leading them to lose their basic ability for logical thinking and judgment. The vast majority of people are merely parrots, surrounded and attacked by chaotic information, having long lost the ability to think independently, becoming blind people with bright eyes. Today's tactics do not need to be sophisticated. They are enough to make people line up to jump into traps. When lacking common knowledge, people will choose to believe in miracles and magic. They always think success must rely on something strange or illusory, fantasizing about winning big with small efforts, hoping for a single move to win, or winning by surprise. They are superstitious about the teachings of the successful, living their entire lives immersed in spiritual chicken soup. Only when repeatedly struck by reality can they awaken. The essence is that their desires have blinded their eyes. But as long as you are willing, you can also understand anyone. Because as long as you understand the essence of humanity, human nature is the core logic that controls behavior. When you grasp human nature, you can reason through any problem. On the foundation of understanding human nature, if you also possess empathy, you can resonate and harmonize with others anytime, anywhere. This resonance has 3 levels. The first level is emotional resonance, the second is value resonance, and the third is spiritual resonance. If you can resonate spiritually with someone, their heart will immediately be touched by you. They will drop all defenses and face you sincerely. This is an incredibly powerful ability, far more effective than reasoning or storytelling. If you are good at creating emotion, you can conquer 80% of people. If you are good at reasoning, you can convince 95% of people. If you are good at storytelling, you can touch 99% of souls. But if you have empathy, you can almost touch everyone. The essence of empathy is compassion. Because you have experienced much suffering, you can understand the suffering of others and empathize with their current situation. Because of compassion, you can easily understand all sentient beings. Because you understand, you can touch and help more people. Compassion is the greatest power in the world. In an era where value is highly balanced, each person can only receive what they deserve. Once what you possess exceeds your own ability, that value will encounter trouble. A person's reputation cannot be greater than their talent. Once reputation exceeds ability, it becomes hollow fame, a mismatch between name and reality, leading to disaster. A person's wealth cannot be greater than their virtue. If wealth exceeds one's personal virtue, it is fraud, enjoying benefits without effort, profiting through shortcuts. And profiting through shortcuts will inevitably lead to disaster. A person's position cannot exceed their ability. If the position is too high while ability is insufficient, it means wielding power beyond one's capacity, surely sowing the seeds for future collapse. The Book of Changes states, virtue not matching the position, shallow virtue attempting great things, small capacity bearing heavy burdens. Therefore, the best way to obtain something good in the future is to continuously improve yourself to make yourself worthy of it. Charlie Munger once said, "Deserve it." But this saying only truly holds meaning in today's era. The important point must be repeated 3 times. The best way to obtain good opportunities or tools in the future is to make yourself, through effort, worthy of them. There is no other way. This is the return of value. Throughout their lives, humans are always seeking 3 things. If you open human history, you will discover a phenomenon. No wealthy person has ever been remembered by posterity simply for being rich. Those remembered by history are always great souls like lighthouses in the pitch-black night, bringing the light of hope to humanity. In fact, a human life is spent doing one thing, proving to the world that they once existed. This existence has 3 realms. The first realm is how many luxurious, material things one has possessed. Material possessions are the core measure. Many men have a garage full of supercars, women's closets are filled with luxury brands, the rich like to buy mansions everywhere. All these things, subconsciously, are to seek a sense of existence, to prove the value of their presence. After all, money is the most direct measure of value in the world. With money, others look at you differently, showing you 3 parts more respect, making reality gentler. The second realm is how many people one has loved and how many have loved them. People replace material things as the core element. Loving many people proves how much love is in your heart. Being loved by many proves you are lovable. This is also why many women may not have money but cannot live without love. Their entire lives are spent seeking love. They need to be loved to feel their own existence and value. The third realm is how many people one has illuminated and how many have illuminated them. The most precious thing in the world is hope. When you illuminate others, you are also bringing them the light of hope. The highest realm of human existence is being able to illuminate and shine upon the lives of others. This is the clearest manifestation of a person's value. The more people you illuminate, the greater your energy and the higher your level. The more people who illuminate you, the more brilliant you become, until you become a lighthouse of the world. These 3 realms are precisely the 3 things humans seek throughout their lives: wealth, love, and hope. If you still do not have money, continuously improve yourself, strive to grow, and acquire the ability to earn money. If you already have a lot of money, then seek more love. Find people who truly understand and love you, and love those who are as lovable as you. If you have both money and love, then begin to illuminate the lives of others. Shine a light on the paths of even more people. The world and history will remember you. Thank you for watching until the end. If you gained an insight from this video today, please press the like button so I know you resonate. May you find your true self, no longer consume your inner strength, awaken soon, see through all sentient beings, and soon become a strong person in life. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please press the subscribe button on the right to connect with me more deeply. Feel free to share to spread benevolent wisdom. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.